Hello everyone, fala todo mundo, segunda parte da entrevista com Rob Ehrens. Hey everyone, that's the second part of the interview with Rob Ehrens. Just gonna give him a few moments so he can come back and public can come back too, and we'll go from there, okay? It's been a pleasure so far. Just give it a few moments so people can get back on the live. If you had done a question and I haven't asked it yet, please make it again on the question marks. Some of the questions that were made on this last live are missing. So please, if you have anything you want to ask, to send it again. And I'll try to answer as many as we can, okay? Well, I guess I can invite Rob to join us again if he's back on. Rob? No, I think Rob's not here yet. Let me message him. Blah, blah, blah. It's been really good so far, guys. I'm really, really excited about it. We'll just see. Okay, Rob's back. Okay. You're back?
Back again?
Yes. Well, at the end of the last live, of course, you were talking about the 2021 Olympics. And we are going to see a probably big change in our sport due to the new regulations. What do you think about the new form for the Olympics?
Oh, that's a hot issue. That was the first year I was in the jumping committee, and that subject came up, and that was not so easy, I must say, and it was very difficult for me as a Dutch farmer to understand the difficult English and all the things, and I'm not so in the beginning being in front and telling exactly what I think and what I believe and what is maybe better or what is not maybe better. But in the end, I think that the new formula, we have to wait and see till we get it live in 21. But I don't think it's a good thing. It's difficult, but I think it's we have to see. But I have a strong belief that the way we had it was better, and I have to review and rethink. And again, I must say that we as coaches, we have our first mission is to go for the highest in the Nations Cup, and that's the team part. And now they changed for the individual first. After that, for the teams. Yeah, I think a lot, and we had a lot of meetings about it. And I think we have to see how it goes in 21, and then make a decision if it's good, yes or no.
All right. It will change.
Was that a diplomatic answer?
Diplomatic enough. It will change, though, in a big way, the job and the work of the coaches, because then now you can swap the riders, swap the horses, not the horses, but swap the riders between one day to another. That's going to be interesting, I believe.
It could be interesting, and for sure, if you go and normally the number 5 after the competition was started, was the number 5 and was not involved in the team anymore. What I still think it is unbelievable that the number 5 was not allowed to be in the Olympic Village, was not part of the team. And I have a strong belief that you go with 5 riders, and 5 riders win or 5 riders lose. And now it's again changed in that way that you have to pick 3 and you pick one reserve, but you can swap, you can change. So that is again a positive thing, that the number 4 can put his effort in, or he starts individual, or he goes for the team. So that is maybe a positive thing. But on the other hand, if and those are the big discussions. But I know that drama belongs to sport, but that kind of drama, which I also witnessed at the Global Champions Tour final, that the first 3 teams had one elimination, and then the whole team is gone. You work 4 years to get to the Olympic Games, and then, oh yes, drama belongs to sport, but that kind of drama I don't like. But okay, if it is like that, we have to live with it, and then we have to make sure that we don't get an elimination, or maybe another issue. What can happen? A girth can break, or a rein can break, or whatsoever. So that's life.
Well, another subject that's going to be changing for the next couple of years, and we'll see a lot of change, I believe, in the sport, is about the new regulation for the hind boots.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
The hind boots in professional hands, by the really good horse people, maybe is not a very big issue. There are always the things happening what are overdone, not in the welfare of the horse. I think I don't want to say too much about it. I have a strong belief that our top professional riders, which we have in the world a lot, they keep winning, and maybe it's in the benefit of the sport. And I don't think it's a big thing. And when a good rider rides a good horse, it will always win. Will also win. And what is winning, in my opinion, we have to skip the part that we have to look that every horse is jumping half a meter space over fences. What is the use of it? I still remember many years ago that Paul Schockemüller was riding with Deister, and Deister was a horse which was twisting from all directions, the front legs to the right, the hind legs to the left. It looked like he was turning all directions. But then Paul said always when he came out over the finish line, I said, the best feeling is when I go through the finish line and I look to the scoreboard and it says 0 points. And that is also the thing what we have to learn, that we also have to be happy, and that we have to learn to live with a horse which is just jumping a little bit space over a fence, but is respecting the pole and is respecting the good riding ability of the rider. I think that is the most important part. And we all saw that you came in a warm-up arena and that the horse was jumping over an oxer of 160 and putting the hind legs up 2 meters up in the air. That I think that is also not bad. That's history, and that we go back to the riding ability, and that the horses are happy, and especially now because we have no break in the season anymore. The competition is going now 12 months a year, and that it can't be that horses are getting put in a way. Let me put it not in a bad way of saying, but we can't make the horses do more than they can do in a normal way, because they have to do it too often. And the good riders have that already very high, and they don't complain about it.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. There's a question that came up to me, and it is, how much you think the trainer should get involved in the training process of the riders at the show? Do you also walk the course? Do you go to the warm-up arena? What is your approach or the routine during a Nations Cup?
You have to learn as a coach, and I learned that also by riding under other coaches. My job is not to promote myself as the coach who knows everything better. I learned that you must not try to change riders. Only you can do that when I take, for example, Jörg Vrilling, he trains already 10 years with me, so I know exactly what I can tell him and what I can make him do at competition. But on the other side, me as a coach have to walk the course together with the riders. We talk about difficulties in the course. We talk about it. We sometimes discuss things. In the warm-up, I'm only there to help, to look, to put the little things maybe, what I see, what I think, what I can say. But can you imagine that I'm starting as a coach and I'm going to tell Johan Dubbeldam, Mark Houtzager, Harry Smolders, Jörg Vrilling, Michael van der Vleuten, Gerko Scheuren, all the big names, that they have to do it differently because I think it needs to be done differently. That's not going to work. But when we work all together, then we can achieve the highest goals.
Fantastic.
And again, I'm not important. The riders and the horses and owners, they are important.
Very good. You came to Brazil quite a couple of times, giving clinics and working with the people here. So there are a couple of questions about that. One of them is, what do you think is the importance of the flat work on the jumping rules, of the dressage?
Yeah, as in every country, that needs to be, that needs a lot of attention. But not only in Brazil, that is all over the world. And I must say, I love Brazil a lot. I was lucky many years. I met by occasion Paulo Carvalho, and his family are very, very good friends of us, and we come once in a time together. And his house is my house, and the opposite. We have a very good relationship, and I must say that Paulo, as a young boy, a little bit under the wings of his father, Sergio, he organized already those clinics in those years, and I must say he organized it from the beginning, and I think he was only 17 or 18 years old, and I didn't have to think about anything. Not for the flight tickets, not for the hotel, not for the food, not for the clinics, for the organization, and he still does it. And in that time, I learned that in all the clinics they give there, we worked a lot on flat work training. That is the whole idea. The whole thing is communication, ride or horse, know what to do. And that is very nice to do, and that is again also a nice thing to do. And I must say that going to Brazil, they're very open, very friendly, and they want to learn. And in those years, it's nice to meet a lot of nice people there, and I don't know exactly all those names, but Tochi. I know him very well, and he's organizing also clinics together with Paulo, and he's also a good friend of mine and his family. And there are many more people. Like one of the nicest riders also is stabled now in my place at home, Shushu. He was last week in the program, and he is now together with Denise Bakker. They're renting stables in our small place, and that's nice. And I have a warm heart there for Brazil.
There's a question from Anderson that's saying, what do you think about the creations of a series of Grand Prix from 155, 160 in Brazil? Do you think that's doable?
I must say, I was a couple of times in Brazil, and I was at the competitions, and I must say that Brazil has a lot of potential. Sure in the horses, sure in very good riders, also in the younger people, and also in the competitions. And who says that the competitions in Brazil are easy? I don't think it is easy. And what is easy? Easy is that everybody can do it, but that's not the way. So I think that that the quality, the level is good, but you have to look also in where is everything happening. And when we look into Europe, then we have every week a huge big event, and that is not in Brazil, and that is also not in a lot of more countries out of Europe. But I think the level is good. Yeah.
All right. What do you seek when you go look for a young horse? What is the main characteristic that you look and you want on a young horse?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I must say, I must really admit that my son Robert has a lot more knowledge and feeling about looking and finding quality good young horses. It's difficult. Sometimes I think I have knowledge, and then I think I have no knowledge at all. You also need to be a little bit lucky, but I think it's very, very important that the character of a horse is good, and that the movements are easy going. You can see already a lot on the eye of the horse. That you look to free jumping. Free jumping, I think, is very difficult. And I witnessed a couple of times already horses jumping free enormously, and having a very big struggle jumping under the saddle. So what I believe is, on the other hand, if you find something what you like, you have to take the time for it. You have to give the horses the chance to grow into it. And I think that is a very positive thing and a very important part. And that is sometimes also now in those days, with that quantity of shows, that a lot of young horses don't get enough time. And there's where you have to work on. But the rider has to believe in it. The rider has to have a feeling with the horse, and the combination needs to fit together. And that is again also the very strong point of the very quality, high standard riders. That the good riders, they don't want to put every horse in the same box. They want to try to also work together with the horse. And one horse needs a little bit of this, and another horse needs a little bit of that. But that's difficult. That's difficult. Maybe when I had a lot of knowledge and always buying and finding the best horses, I would already stopped a long time ago with coaching or riding, and I was going to deal with horses. Maybe I was a lot richer now, and but I don't know. Maybe not as happy.
Very good. Rodrigo Pessoa is asking if you think Oscar Drum would be a good horse nowadays.
Oscar Drum was not quick enough. When I have to compare of the three horses, Koh-i-Noor in that time was already a very modern horse, which could be for the moment also good. Olympic Sunrise would also be. Drum was a horse which has all the possibilities, the power. He was also careful, but he was very strong in the body and slow. So as a winning horse, it would not be a horse would win a lot of Grand Prix. And that is also now during those days, many years ago, when you had a horse with a lot of power and you could ride it really good, that you can make in a Grand Prix 3 times a clear round in the 2 rounds and the jump off, then you had good money. If you have a slow horse now, which is not quick in a jump off, yeah, then you don't win anything. And that is what is now in those days, when I have to think about my old horses from the past, that Koh-i-Noor and Sunrise would be still at this moment horses which you could win a Grand Prix with.
Very good. Well, you probably are not reading the comments. I'm trying not to, but also Philip Gerda is on the live and he's saying, "Be careful! Don't make my job too difficult."
Ah, Philip, I like making it a little bit difficult for you. No, I think that Philippe is one of the persons also which proved that he is a very good coach and that he is very motivated and he knows exactly where he talks about, and he showed that already in in other countries, and I must say, I'm still surprised that he's not in France anymore. But I think on the other hand, Brazil is very lucky with him. So put the past behind Philippe and go with a new country for a new gold medal, which you won with the French team in Rio. And but my friend, I keep making it as difficult as possible for you. But I must admit, you have good riders, you have good horses. The only difficult part, what Philippe has and what I have a lot more easy, is that I have everything in a very small country. I can travel in 3.5 hours, and I can see all the riders, and that is where Philippe has a bigger issue, more difficult.
You talked about that a little bit before, but Rodrigo is also asking, how did you select João in Zenit in 2014 when he wasn't having so many good results that year?
Yeah, that's a good question. I learned that João was in fact always telling the truth, and if João is telling me that I'm ready for it, then I could nearly say that he is ready. But that year was very difficult for me because the combination was not going smoothly, and it took us till the end in Falsterbo that the Nations Cup was still not really impressing me, and then in the Grand Prix it was better, but in the end we didn't speak about it. And sometimes, you know, when you don't speak and you let it first rest and think about it, he texted me and he said, I think I'm ready. And okay, I made a decision also to take it because I had a belief that he could do it. And in the end, that was difficult for me because when I did it, what I did, and it went completely wrong, then I was hanging on the tree. But okay, that is also what I told all of you before. I make the decision, and when I'm fully behind it myself, then I take the risk. If the risk turns out to be positive, then we all laugh and we all celebrate. And on the other hand, okay, then I'm the blame. And that can also happen. That can happen, for example, next year when I have to make a selection. But that's part of the game. And as long as you do everything out of your heart, with a strong belief that you put the best combinations on the team, then it is the way it is.
Very, very good. Rob,
but that is also, just one sec, that is also a belief from two sides. And I know for a fully 100% that when Jeroen thinks he's not ready, he tells me that.
Fantastic. Before the last question, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank again everyone that's been with us since the beginning, to thank Malu for all the support she's been giving me, and like you for the support. And for the last question, I would like to ask you for your advice for the young and professional riders that wants to develop in this world.
Yeah, that is a very, very difficult question, but a very important one. And what I learn very much at those present times, that the young people with talent, they think they can rule the world already in a very young stage of life. That's not the way it goes. All the big names who are winning now and were winning in the past, they are unbelievable hard workers at home. They work with us. When I see Steve Getter winning the World Cup final in Göteborg, and 1 week later he's in the freezing cold in Pilbergen in the Netherlands with all his young horses, that's what is real life about. What I see and what I want to tell the young people: work. Don't think everything comes very, very easy. There are so many jobs somewhere, but most of the jobs the young people don't want to take anymore, because at first what they want is a big truck, 2 grooms, 8 international horses, and no work at all. It's not going to work. And what I want to give all the young people, work your butt off. Learn to ride also with horses which are not ready. Learn to ride also with horses which are not very good. Learn those things. Learn first to lose. Learn first to work. Then in the end, when you can stay up with that, then you can find a way. And I have a strong belief, if you work really hard to learn the riding profession, that you learn to ride horses on the flat work, that you have knowledge about horsemanship, then you can develop also yourself. But nothing comes by itself. It's a very difficult and a very hard and long way to get to the top. Sometimes you see young people coming very quickly up because they have the luck that they have good horses with good sponsors, or maybe very rich owners, or all the blah blah blahs. But then to stay there, that's another level. And that is what I want to give the young people. Work your butt off, work, listen, be open. And when you go now those days to the competitions and you see young people going around, when you say hello to them, they don't even look up to you. The whole interest is different. We still have a lot of respect. And that is also what we have to get back to the young people, in my opinion. Because talent alone is not enough. You need to be coachable, and you need to have a very good head.
Amazing. Rob, thank you very, very much for your time. It was an absolutely pleasure.
It was a pleasure doing.
I'm really, really happy.
And thank you for all the people who listened, who could listen for nearly an hour, I think. Eh? Oh, no.
An hour and a half. An hour and a half.
Nearly bedtime.
Thank you very much, Rob. It was my pleasure.
Bye-bye.
I hope to see you soon.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Well, thank you, everyone. That was fantastic. I will go back to Portuguese now because it's done. Obrigado a todo mundo que participou. Foi incrível. Amanhã, às 3 da tarde, a gente vai conversar com o Neco de novo. Tá? Então, eu vou daqui a pouquinho soltar um box de perguntas para vocês já começarem a mandar as perguntas para a live do Neco amanhã, que a ideia é seguir um pouquinho... Desculpa. Travou aqui, me ligaram rapidinho no WhatsApp, eu já vou retornar a ligação. Enfim, queria agradecer a todo mundo que participou. Amanhã, 3 da tarde, tem o Neco. Vou mandar ali o box de perguntas, porque a ideia é a gente trocar um pouco mais de ideia e conversar um pouco mais com o Neco. Acho que a primeira parte da live dele, ele já contou a história. Agora a gente tem mais um bate-papo, tá bom? Então, até amanhã, 3 da tarde, tamo junto. Um abraço.